you think that the social fabric expectations that women has to continuously face into. What are some of the impacts that you see that women go through? Because I see a lot of women go through a certain level of challenges or stress because of the social fabric they are into. So, what are those major impacts, and how can they overcome those impacts?
I think the first thing is the whole gender war that we seem to have perennially in our life goes to a different level when we come into motherhood. Again, to give you examples from personal and lives of my clients. So if you're sitting down and depending on which house you're sitting, your maternal house or your husband's maternal house, if the child needs to be changed, automatically the gazes will go to one person, and most often that one person is going to be the mother and not the husband. And how willing the husband is to change the diaper of the child. Now the child needs to be fed. So automatically the will go to one of the parent. Which of the parent it goes to will give you the gender sensitivity radar reading in that particular house. So a new level of unfairness hits new mothers, I think. I remember from my own work, like I would rush back home from wherever I was working, and the minute I walk in, my mother is expecting me to simply, pick up the child and now be with it. It's as though sending me a message that, well, you have had your time, now this is it, now get back to being a mother, right? And that was a very stark transition for me. While I'm grateful that I still, even now, from the time my child was born until now, I still rely on her, but she has gone through a major change in the way she treats me now. um, but that stark transition happens, but that wouldn't happen if my husband would walk in. If my husband walks in, how was your day, and would you like a cup of chai, and would you like to eat something, and if the child is running up to him and then they'll say that thoda chhod do na, aap papa ko chhod do na, let him breathe for a minute. But that's not going to happen with the mother. That breathe for a minute is not going to happen. So this whole unfairness really kind of kicks in and goes to a different notch when you get into motherhood. But again, I realized one thing: there is no use being bitter and fighting about it, because I tried it. The bitterness and fighting part of it is only going to create more villains and vamps in your life. Instead, we have to speak about it. We have to have very difficult conversations with people whom we claim to love, or we want to love, or we wish to continue to love. We need to sit them down and say, we can't do this. You can't be ashamed to change a diaper, and I cannot be persecuted for having gone to work and come back, right? And thankfully my mother, from that particular person, became a woman whom, even if I'm having a very bad day in the morning trying to leave my child and she's crying and I have to go to work, she would just look at me and say, go, everything will be all right. She will cry for 2 minutes and then she'll come back to me, tum jao. And when I hear that sentence from my mother, it's like I feel like a superwoman. I feel like, yes, I'm going to get the day. And I think that's the kind of cultural acceptance that we want from our spaces. And my husband also does a very similar thing. So from a person who was culturally brought up to think that, cleaning a dirty diaper is a woman's job and not the man's job, he is someone now who does everything for my children. Like, even if I have to travel, I have nothing to worry about, from feeding to playing to cleaning them, everything he will do A to Z. But again, this is something that we have to work with, we have to work at, and we have to work along with our surroundings. Feminism had a very interesting time when we were single. That was a solo ride, but now it's not a solo ride. The minute you become a mother, you can't afford to be solo. You are dependent on people around you, and therefore you need to have conversations. Sometimes the conversations will not resolve nicely, but you can't brush them under the carpet, and there is no use. I'm sorry, I remember we had this conversation before, and you'd say I would gossip with new mothers. And I had said, well, that helps you feel relieved and say, "ठीक है, उनके, the grass is not any greener on the other side." It doesn't resolve the issues back home, right? So the same energy needs to come back to these socio-cultural spaces. Ki don't look at her and judge her. Ask her, what do you want? If you're going to work, what is it that you want? Like, my husband was very clear with me. He said, what are you trying to do with your career now? And when he realized I'm doing something for a certain amount of passion, and this is what I wanted to do, he said, keep that objective in mind and don't compromise on it. Keep that objective. This is the reason why you're working. So keep that objective inside and you work for it. And you don't have regrets because nobody knows how a project is going to pan out. You pick up a project, it starts a certain way, but you never know how it's going to pan out. Say, तुम्हारा objective अच्छा था, तुम्हारा passion अच्छा था, लेकिन things didn't turn out. Now there is no use regretting, oh, I left my child behind. You didn't know this, right? So this is the kind of acceptance which we usually give to people, we have to re-give in motherhood. Usually parents tell this to their children. As professionals, we are told this. Ki, all you can do is effort, result is not in your hand. We have to retell it now to new mothers. Ki, don't take it too hard so much. Don't feel so bad about it. Nobody could have said where this would go, right? So in the same way, the same understanding, if our socio-cultural spaces can provide, our families can provide, our workspaces can provide, I think it will be fantastic. I would also like to say a very positive instance again about a client who kind of was hiding and very subtle about having gotten into pregnancy. And when she finally revealed it, like it was some kind of a sin, she finally revealed it all dara hua sa to her boss. The first thing that thankfully that woman did as her boss was congratulations. It is good news. You don't have to hide it. It is good news. Good job. This is a beautiful phase of life. To remind them all of it. So in this way, I think if our cultural spaces only reaffirm our strengths, help us fight with our doubts, create systems along with us. We can't impose it on them either. They also have their life. My husband has his career. My mother has her own old age and her own family and everything. But we have to co-create these spaces. So we can't afford to ride solo anymore. We
And I
have to co-create.
Yeah, and I think the important element that you spoke about in this whole gamut of changes that we are talking about is the communication part. That
Hmm.
communicate, and I think this is what you told last time also, that it's not one time communication, but this is like repeat
Yes.
communication, right?
Yes.
So this is repeated communication over a period of time that you have to make people understand. Some will understand after one discussion, some might take 10 discussion to understand, but it
Yes.
is your self care, it is your health, it is your emotional well being, it is your meaning of life. And to hold it on together, you have to make the effort to communicate and not wait for others to understand it automatically and then think that
Yes.
why is the person not getting it, or why there is no lack of empathy. Maybe they do not have, for them also, it is the first time, so they do not understand it, right? And
Correct.
things were very different when they were mothers, or the things were very different when they were in the previous world. Now it is, now it is different. So it's our needs are different. Our need for having meaning in our life is very much important in compared to what it was earlier.